us through what it means by connect, what it means by detect, and what it means by protect.
Okay. So let's start off with. So first of all, as a solution, what's incredibly important is there's two components to it. The first component is in the cloud. We have two separate gateways set up at a very high sustainable cloud environment, highly secure. And in there, we have our security stack and the managed service component. And we'll talk a little bit about that. The most important point I want to say about that right now is that whichever country we have partners in, we will actually implement the gateways in that country to ensure that we have data sovereignty, because that's quite a big issue across Africa. On the other side of it is the device that we supply. And literally, it falls under green computing because it's green, okay, called the Omnia device. This is literally a CPE device that has been approved by ICASA. And at the back, you'll see it's quite simple in terms of the connectivity. And you will have 3 ports for connectivity, and I'll cover that in a second, and 2 ports for networking, and USB ports for things like external modems or external switches, etc. It's literally that simple. So technically what we're saying is that we have all the security and the knowledge and the power in the cloud. You plug this in at your office, you connect, and you're up and running. It's literally that simple. However, there's obviously a lot of things at play which fall under those banners that I mentioned earlier around connect, protect, and detect. So let's talk a little bit about connect. Connect is and has always been a challenge in Africa, but the important thing to understand is that there are a number of connectivity options available. You can use your lease line, you can use your fiber, you can use LTE, you can even use low orbit satellite. That's the connection part. Then built into this technology is SD-WAN. Typically something you would pay for an extra when obviously you're looking at a security perspective. What does SD-WAN mean? Well, for me, that means always connected, always up. And what that means to a consumer or a person using the technology is that if you have multiple forms of connection, what it means is that no matter which one fails, the others will still continue to work. The technology is clever enough to do that. More importantly, if you have, for example, 3 fiber lines, or you only have 1 fiber line and an LTE as a backup, for example, the 4G, it has the ability to fail over between these lines. It has the fastest failover of any technology available in the world today. It's under 0.1 seconds. Why is that so important? Well, because most businesses are using online technology like VoIP telephone systems. They're working in the cloud with Sage. And because of that failover, you do not even notice the lack of connectivity for that less than a millisecond. And there are stats to show this in comparison to many technologies. That's the one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is because of the SD-WAN, what it does is it bonds all those connection points available to you and makes it available as one pipe. So if you have a 50 meg fiber line, a 30 meg LTE line, and a 10 meg low orbit satellite line, it'll actually work as if you're working with 90 megs worth of capacity. And included in this is the data encryption. So your information is traveling up and down these lines, but it's encrypted, so completely safe to all organizations to transmit and work with. There's a little caveat here, which obviously refers to something we call Smart SASE as part of the solution. There's zero trust network access, etc. There's a software client that's available as an option that you can put on your laptop. So obviously, if you have management or staff that are traveling around, what it enables you to do is access the cloud anywhere at any time using any form of connectivity at a restaurant, on your mobile app, etc. And it provides you with exactly the same security and access that you would have as if you were working from within the office. It allows you, for example, in a restaurant to use your mobile device, the restaurant's internet, and any other up to 6 connections at once. And doing with that what I just mentioned before in terms of what SD-WAN can do for you.